everyone. My name is Pranavi. I'm currently a sophomore in college. I'm studying computer science. And first of all, I would like to thank Patriji for bringing us all together in this beautiful union. And I would like to thank all of you masters for being here for my very first speech. So today is the fifth day of Navratri. And today we will be celebrating the goddess Skandamata. And Skandamata is basically a significance of motherly love, of nature, of wisdom. So let us start by hearing her story. So it all started when Lord Shiva went into deep meditation after the death of his companion Sati. And due to this, Sati has been reincarnated as Parvati with the consent of the gods so that she can bring Lord Shiva out of meditation and have a child with him, because only that child will be able to defeat the demon Tarakasura. So, Sati, or the reincarnation, Parvati Devi, she goes into deep tapasya to get Lord Shiva's attention, since he's already deep into meditation. But he doesn't even budge. He doesn't even acknowledge the fact that she's doing this penance for him. So then, Tarakasura, the demon, he becomes more and more powerful, and he starts by doing more atrocities, which in turn concerns all the gods. So they all go to Lord Kama, who is actually the god of love. So Lord Kama then agrees to put a love spell on Lord Shiva so that he can fall in love with Parvati. So then he actually puts this spell on Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva's meditation gets disrupted. And when this happens, he becomes so frustrated that his third eye opens, which in turn leads to Lord Kama being burnt to ashes. So then Lord Shiva has opened his eyes from meditation, and that's when he notices Parvati Devi doing the severe penance for him, and he immediately falls in love with her because also of the love spell. So his intense love for Parvati Devi, combined with the opening of the third eye, all the energy that has been released, it all turns into a seed, which is the child of Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. And this spark is actually so hot that even Lord Agni couldn't handle it, the Lord of Fire. So he gives it to Ganga Devi. But even Ganga Devi couldn't handle this. So then she passes it on and deposits it into a forest of reeds called Sarvana. And in this forest, a beautiful baby boy is born, who is the son of Lord Shiva himself and Parvati Devi. And this son is raised by 6 sisters named Kritikas. So these Kritikas actually raise Lord Kartikeya, hence the name Kartikeya. And since Kartikeya is born from this beautiful fusing spark from Lord Shiva's third eye, he then becomes known as Skanda. And he is the son of Parvati Devi, hence the name Skandamata. So that's the origin of Skandamata. And she's also depicted as having 4 arms. So in her first arm, she holds Lord Kartikeya. In the other 2 arms, she's holding 2 lotus flowers. In the 4th arm, she's actually doing the Abhaya Mudra, which is to bless us with her protection and divinity, with her motherly nature. And she also sits on this lotus flower, as well as riding a lion, as a symbol of power, of wisdom. So that is the significance of Mata Skandati. She is actually protecting all of us. She's like the divinity. So she is the mother nature, the mother earth, and we're in this beautiful atmosphere, obviously. So we're all in the presence of Skandamata. And also, that brings us on to our topic of cultivating an abundance mindset. So essentially, that's what God wants from us, to be in a very positive, very bright mindset so that we are closer to Him. So every step we take into raising our vibration, we're getting closer and closer to Him. So cultivating an abundant mindset comes down to these 4 things. The first thing is through gratitude. So let me give a simple example. If someone asks us for a favor and we do that favor for them, the least possible thing that we expect is a thank you. And once they say that thank you, we're so excited that we're like, I would do anything for you. I would do more for you. But if we don't receive that thank you, we feel like our efforts are not appreciated enough. So then we feel like, why did I even do this for them? What was the point when they show no gratitude? So, to the universe, for the main thing for cultivating an abundance mindset is through showing gratitude. Even for the smallest things, even for the grass, even for the ant, even for this beautiful sky, even for the nature. We must show our gratitude in every single thing possible, in every way possible. And the second thing is through generosity. So being generous is not just sharing your things, but also sharing knowledge as well. So it's not just about material things, but it's about mental things. So if we see someone suffering, the least we can do is help them. Or even if we can't help them with our gestures, the best thing we can do is help them through knowledge. So generosity is also part of this abundant mindset. The third thing is essentially being in the right path. So it doesn't matter how many positive thoughts you have or how many affirmations you do daily. But without being in the right path and doing the right things or being in our dharma, there is no point in having such a beautiful mindset when you can't do the right actions. So essentially, we must be in our proper dharmic path, doing everything morally and ethically correct. And that brings us to our fourth point, where we must align our entire actions with our mindset. So let me give another example here. So first thing, let's say you want to be extremely rich. Okay, for 1 hour in the day, you say like thousands of affirmations, I'm rich, I'm abundant, I'm prosperous. But then the next hour, maybe, you go to the grocery store and let's say you see organic strawberries. That is $5 and normal strawberries are $2. So what is the one we would pick? Normally, obviously, we would pick the least priced one because we think that, oh, I can't afford this. So that entire 1 hour where you were doing all these affirmations that I am rich is all gone because the rest of the 23 hours you are in a deficit mindset. So not an abundant mindset. So basically, the last thing is alignment. All our actions must align with our mindset. That is the thing. And there's also lots of affirmations we do, but if we don't act upon it, then there is no point to having it. So that is the abundant mindset. And I would like to say one last affirmation is I am very prosperous. This is like what we must say every day. I'm very prosperous, abundant, and happy in all aspects of my life. So we must not just think about wealth, or we must not just focus on health, not one thing. Because if we have one thing and don't have the other, then obviously there's no point to it. So when we're praying, when we're asking, we must ask for all aspects of our life. So we must ask for peace. Honestly, that's the only thing we need. Because once we have peace, we have everything. And thank you so much.
Ranveer, excellent. And can you tell us, where did you apply this application into your life? When did you apply this?
The
So
abundant mindset?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's a
what
long
was your
story.
experiment?
It's a little long story, but if you're okay with it, I'll continue.
How
Okay.
did you start your meditation journey?
Meditation
there.
journey?
You can.
It all actually, my father passed away when I was 14 years old. So at that time, it was extremely harsh. And by that time, I already read the Bhagavad Gita. So that actually made me very strong. So I had to stay strong for my mom, because when that happened, I didn't even cry at all. Like, not a single tear, because I was so much in shock. And seeing that, everyone around me kept saying, "We have to be strong for your mom. You have to do this for your mom. You have to take all the responsibility now." And at that point, I didn't know, so I just thought that maybe not crying would make me brave. And I did that. I did exactly what they said. I, I didn't cry. I took care of my mom. And but the question of why did this happen to me, has always been in my mind. And it has always been in my mom's mind as well. So she started meditating. And once she started meditation, she actually found the answer that, okay, we caused this to someone in our past life. So that is why we must experience this. And when she told me that experience, I didn't believe it. I was like, how would you even know? How is that even possible? But then she forced me, like for 6 months, every single day, every single hour, she forced me to meditate. She was like, you will see the result, you will do it. And I used to sit there, I used to like sleep all the time. I used to like, no, whatever. I used to sleep. But then one fine day, I actually like sat there and tried to focus. I'm like, okay, fine. She's telling me so much. Let me see what this is about. And then I meditated and I felt a beautiful experience, that state of calmness that like I couldn't hear anything, I couldn't see anything. Everything was just blank. And at that moment, I actually knew the meaning of meditation. So that's how I started my journey. And at that time, we had nothing. When my father died, nothing. From nothing to meditation, and I started reading lots and lots of books. And now, like, our life has changed so much in these past few years that I'm so grateful for what I got and what the universe has blessed me with. And the main thing is knowledge. That changed everything. My mom, she was, she found PMC videos on YouTube. So she found the videos, she found Master Vamsi Kiran's videos, and that's how she got into meditation. Thank you, Amma.
Excellent, Pranavi. Can I have you? Nice, excellent. Yeah, so for the youth, for the youngsters, we no need to teach them. They have a better clarity. Only thing is we should provide these type of platforms to express what they are learned and what they are experimenting, and they had to know about their true self. So ancient days, we are even Lord Rama, before administration, he went to the Gurukul. So it's not a new one we are bringing up. It was there, it's there, all the time it's there. Just we need to provide, elders should provide this type of atmosphere to the youngsters. That's all. We need not to teach them at all. So just in this ambience, they had to be present in the platforms. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Andy, for this opportunity.
Thank you for giving a wonderful wisdom to all of us. How was it? Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful experience for all the people who are watching. Watch these kind of masters who have experienced meditation, and through meditation they have applied the wisdom, my dear friends. These are pure live examples, and I would request everybody to watch this video again and again to understand the principles of meditation and the application. So thank you very much for sharing your wisdom, Amma. It is pure, coming from your heart. I can see it is glowing on your face. I can see. So thank you very much. I would also request, there is one Paima group which is going to start in the US for the youth. So I'd request you to please join that group, and we should take this wisdom to our next generations, and you are the right people to do that. People like us, we are done. Right? So you have to take it forward, and when you talk in your language to your age people, they connect very easily. That is the whole motive, right? So I would request to please join that group and spread this word.
That's brilliant.
Thank you
so
very much. And for people who have missed today, you have missed, guys. Right. Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
She
Come, Shital. Yeah. With the salad. తీసానమ్మా నేను తీసాను అందుకే అడుగు
Thank you so much, Pranavi. I know Pranavi. Of course, Pranavi's mom. I met her 6 months back in Anastasia's workshop. She came and then she attended the session, and ever since we are connected and came to know that her story is very inspiring. She found PMC. Patriji's work is everywhere. Like, you know, when people are suffering, when they are in deep pain, when they really need, they are going to get it. And that is how the PMC has helped Hima. And with that suffering, with that mud came the lotus. And these are two beautiful lotuses that, you know, shining and sharing the knowledge and wisdom. And this knowledge and wisdom is going to help so many people, whoever is suffering, right? There is a reason, as she can say, as Hima can say, that, you know, why it happened. She could see clearly. And then when the understanding is there, the acceptance is there. When the acceptance is there, there is no suffering, only happiness. Oh my God, that's good. I came to know now. And Pranavi did book club on celestial prophecy. Recently, we conducted a book club, and I requested her, Pranavi, will you be able to do the book club? And she did amazing book club, and I'm gonna share the link with you all. And she's not only a great orator and speaker, but she's also a writer.
Oh.
She wrote a book, and it is available on Amazon. I'm gonna post the link. And next session we are going to hear how this inspiration came. Of course, we know a little bit, but we are going to know about more of her journey, her book, her courage, and we know that these two masters are going to change so many people's life, right?
We would like to know what made you to start, you know, writing that book. What was the
That book, as I've said before, all the books that I've read after like getting into meditation, I read them for about like 1 year, 2 years. In the span of 2 years, I read all those books, and I thought, I just wish I had like one book that had like all the topics in it. And for my book, I took all the key points of every single book that I read, and I put it into one book. So it's like a blueprint, like a self-mastery
What
blueprint.
is your book name?
It's called The Growth Code.
Growth Code.
Growth
What an
Code.
amazing. So it's not growth in this way, it is a growth in this way.
growth code?
Yeah, Growth Code. So please go ahead and, you know,
Yeah,
get it from Amazon.
definitely, yeah, bring tomorrow so that we'll have
No, it is available in Amazon.
Amazon.
It's an e-book.
That's in the
E-book.
Kindle.
Okay.
Kindle
Kindle.
version.
Yeah, Kindle
Okay,
is
okay.
The knowledge should be free.
Super.
So beautiful. So
Every
beautiful.
principle you are following,
Hima,
whatever
please come.
Pitamaha
Come here.
taught us.
I'm just going to hug you. Come.
We all must hug you.
Yeah.
See? She's a brave lady.
Elder daughter.
We think like, you know, when losing someone, we feel that we lost everything. Of course, we lost everything what we have built so far. But starting from there, building the empire again, stronger than before, is proven by this mother and daughter. And we are forever grateful for these wonderful masters for joining here and sharing today knowledge and wisdom, and, you know, really feeling amazing to be here today. And everybody is like, you know, I can see how happy all of us are.
Yes.
Thank you, Pranavi. Thank you, Hima. Thank you for joining Apma team. Thank you.
Now a bigger family.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Pranavi.
Yeah. It's wonderful time today. We should celebrate with light snacks.
Inspiration.